have believed indoor skiing in the middle of the desert, but yet we see it. So what can you imagine for your profession if everybody is included? The courage to follow our dreams is the first step toward our destiny. And you've taken that first step here today by adding this time to your agenda. I know how precious your time is, and I know this probably isn't the most popular subject, but it's a needed subject. Now, however, the tough work begins. Partnering with everyone in your organizations and within this profession to identify the barriers that are keeping women from reaching the top, and then committing to find workable solutions. I suspect that the issues for women chefs are no different than those of any other professional women. Lack of mentors, lack of role models, sometimes inflexible work schedules, and sometimes not really hospitable working conditions, and lack of formal, informal networking. So as I close, I ask all chefs that are represented here today, men chef, female chefs, every chef that's here, to have the courage to leave this Congress with a commitment to take tangible, measurable action to continue this journey, to ensure that everybody is fully included in your outstanding and wonderful profession. You touch lives, you change lives. People come together over food. You had the opportunity to make a difference. So, in closing, I just want to remind you that vision truly is the gift of clearly seeing what may be. Vision does indeed expand our horizons. The more we see, the more we can achieve. The grander our vision, the more glorious our accomplishment. Our courage to follow our dreams is the first step toward our destiny. Thank you very much.
Diana, thank you very much for a very dynamic presentation. I really got the impression you are very passionate about the subject matter, and consequently your delivery was accordingly. So we really thank you for doing this. You know, Diana made an interesting point which we need to analyze for a minute, and that is, she said that the only maturity that women hold in our food service and kitchen environment is in a pastry shop. Now, why do you think? It's very simple. There's some semblance of a lifestyle. There's not the pressure of having to stay in during the evening, during the rush hour, during the service. It's a little bit more a disciplined environment for those, and I did 2 apprenticeships, so I know the difference between pastry and kitchen. It's a little bit more a disciplined environment, more conducive for a woman to pursue her careers and at the same time still have career opportunities and meet family obligations. And so I think we already have the elements in place, namely, if we can structure an environment that's similar to what we find today in the pastry field, and if we begin to be more sensitive towards the subject matter, I think we all are going to benefit. And I think the interesting thing that you pointed out was, not only is it the right thing to do, it's good business to do that. So there's really no more excuse not to move ahead with that. And again, the goal that Diana talked about, and I need to clear up some misperception because I got some feedback that perhaps the women felt we want to keep the women chefs separate, in a separate room, talking to themselves. Not at all, just the opposite. We want to integrate, and we want to, hopefully, in the future, maybe 10 years down the road or 5 years, not have to talk about it anymore. Why? Because it's no longer an issue. So again, Diana, thank you very much for doing this wonderful presentation. And on behalf of the World Association of Chef Societies, I'd like to just give you a little memento of our token of our appreciation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much.
And now we are following up with a workshop. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you, as soon as I get my notes. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Debbie Benedetti, who is the founder of Beyond the Possible. She is an executive coach serving in food service and hospitality for the last 30 years, adjunct professor at the Culinary Institute of America. She serves on the advisory board of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Harris College of Hotel Administration. She was a Woman of the Year in 2000 by the Roundtable for Women in Food Service, and she's going to present the value of a personal strategic plan. Please join me in welcoming Debbie Benedetti.
Thank you. Thank you to the board for inviting me. Thank you to Unilever for providing the funds to provide this education. I get to have the exciting job of working with CEOs and presidents in the hospitality industry. I work with them on goal clarification, on leadership attributes, and on really looking at their business and how to get it more effective and productive. So today's quick workshop is going to be on the value of a personal strategic plan. How many people have been involved in writing a strategic plan for their business? So you know the basic elements of a personal strategic plan, or a strategic plan as it were. This workshop is about how do you have a strategic plan for your life? And it's obviously that I'm a woman presenting this, but this is a format that I use for everybody that I work with, mostly on the executive level. So I'm going to see, here we go. The first thing is, I want you to think that if you don't know where you're going, that's probably where you're going to end up, nowhere. So having a plan is critically important. The objectives of the workshop today are first to understand the basic elements of a strategic plan, apply that process to your personal choices, and to learn how to identify your personal vision and core values. Hopefully at the end of this 20 minutes, you'll have some immediate skill sets to start to work with. And I want to quote one of my great friends who said, "Success without a plan is just an accident." And it's like when you're working in the kitchen. If you come up with a wonderful dish, if you didn't write any of it down, how can you duplicate it again? How can you teach it to the next generation? So, first, strategic planning. The myth is that it's a very expensive process only for large corporations. What I propose to you today is that the reality is it's a simple process that any individual can use to achieve what they want, both personally and professionally. Benefits of a personal strategic plan, because it's nice to have this thing, whatever it is, but what are you going to get out of it? Why is it important for you? The first thing is that it clearly defines your direction and your purpose. It establishes realistic goals. It helps you clarify what you really want. It blueprints the uses of resources, and it creates measurement, evaluation, and focuses your efforts and the results you want. So, what are the elements of a personal strategic plan? The same elements that you see in a company plan, a business plan, and that is, first and foremost, knowing what your core values are. Are you about integrity? Are you about altruism? Are you about honesty, respect? Are you about getting results done? Are you only about the financial results? Knowing what core values drive you. From there, as Diana talked about the vision, through your core values you have a vision. You develop a vision. What is your vision for your kitchen? To be the best. What is your vision for your organization? The next part is really a little